part 14. So with that potential connection to Mars, the Battle of Mars, Latour, we also have a tower. So we've got Magdalene reference, and also like Mars and Venus in art, and the fight between Mars and Minerva by Jacques-Louis David. I guess the concept of raw strength and power versus strategy and wisdom, which is very different to depictions of Venus, which she uses a different way. And 3 trees on the low sky. So low is lion in German. So the 3 trees could relate to the 3 branches, like I mentioned, the Elts. Sky is also associated with Newt, also things like ceilings and roofs, and Saint Mark the Evangelist is associated with the lion also. Tree in German is Baum, and 3 is Drei or dry. So it's like the dry tree, which could relate to that fountain in Cologne that I mentioned before. And then thinking about that word Baum as a name, in the Imperial Palace of Strasbourg, the first 4 rooms decorated painters by Kufel and Baum of Frankfurt. The staircase audience room under the dome and 3 reception rooms, which could be 3 trees maybe, on the west side, all very handsome. And it mentioned St. Peter's Church of the Sacred Heart. It also mentions a bronze bust of Goethe in that same sort of passage. And so I was looking for one of his where he talked about trees. And he wrote 3 odes. The first line of the first ode is, transplant the beauteous tree, gardener, it gives me pain, a happier resting place its trunk deserved, which is really interesting, but I'm not going to go too deeply into that because there's already enough wormhole. So also around that same page and with some other information I found from Wikipedia, the Church of St. Thomas, which is Protestant in Strasbourg, contains a monument in the choir dedicated to Marshal Saxe Maurice, son of Augustus I, he later became King of Poland. He wrote Les Rêveries aux Memories sur l'art de guerre, the art of war. The review I read is likened to something that you would write on opium, but Lord Montgomery said it was like, I can't remember the exact words, but he appreciated it. It's nicknamed the Protestant Cathedral or the Old Lady, but essentially there's an elaborate monument under which this dude's remains are from 1777, depicting death holding a sand glass, calling him to the grave while a crying Franz tries to retain him. Hercules weeps on the tombside. To the left are Franz's enemies, personified by 3 distraught animals. So number 3 again, about the 3 trees. The German/Austrian eagle, the Dutch lion, and it says the British lion on Wikipedia, but leopard in the book, and their broken flags. And an old white horse galloped away in the meadow. Another word for meadow is lee. So I was also thinking about lease as in a grape residue. So there could be a connection with a vineyard, either metaphorical or literal, possibly connecting with Martin Luther as like a branch of the tree.